Hello and welcome. This is my 2021 Schwinn AL Comp. I bought it in November of 2021 with the intent to turn it into a winter road bike. Well, there are many sayings, for good reason, about making plans that end up with contrary results. And yeah, that's pretty much what happened to my plans for the AL Comp. It was not the bike so much as it was the rather odd winter that we had here in Maine. As to the bike, I added front and rear mudguards. They look kind of silly, but they worked. I also installed a polished Shimano STX crankset and rear derailleur from a 1995 Specialized Hard Rock. They offered no mechanical improvement over the stock tourney setup, but they sure look better. I installed a set of Goodyear 27.5 by 2.2 mountain bike tires instead of the stock 2.0 all-purpose tires, and a set of Blackburn resin pedals. The rest of the upgrades were from my parts bins, and they included a wider 720mm carbon fiber handlebar, lock-on comfort grips, an alloy Uno seat tube, and a WTB saddle. So, what happened? Well, the weather was a big factor. When the conditions for road riding were tolerable, frankly, the temperatures were not. If it got down to less than 20 degrees Fahrenheit, I rode my indoor bike instead. I mean, I'm closing in on 62 years old, and my tolerance for some things is a lot less than it used to be. When the temps were more bearable, I rode my fat bike on some local trails. And then we got this extended period of warm-ish days and sub-freezing nights, which turned those trails into ice rinks. So, more virtual miles on the indoor bike. The upshot of all this is that I only rode the AL Comp as intended, 3 or 4 times, maybe 5. And that's really too bad, because all in all, the AL Comp is a pretty darn good bike for under $300 stock. You just have to realize that it's not remotely suited for bombing down Black Diamond technical trails in stock kit. And since that was not my intent, I was okay with it. I'm still not sure how much riding I will be doing on it in the coming days and months. Here's the thing. For mountain biking, I have my Specialized rock hopper, which I really like, my Nishiki Colorado Comp, which is a plus-size 27.5er, my Polygon Siskiyou, which is my 27.5 full sus, and my Mongoose Dolomite ALX fat bike, which is pretty self-evident. Strictly speaking, the AL Comp does not seem to fill a gap in my off-road stable. So, what to do with it? Once upon a time, I had a Diamondback Response that I used as a loaner. I suppose I could use the AL Comp in that way. But first, the mudguards have got to go. Half of the fun of mountain biking is getting dirty. Next, the suspension. The stock fork is okay only for the greenest of green trails. As I originally planned, I'm going to install the SR Suntour XCM that came with my Siskiyou. Sure, it's a spring fork, but it has a lockout, and I rode that on any trail I wanted to before I upgraded to an air fork. The fork will require use of this RISC headset conversion kit, odd name for any product. Plus, it has sealed bearings, which are a step up from the stock caged ball bearings. Down below, I'm going to replace the 3x crankset and the cup and comb bottom bracket with a Shimano Altus 2x with 22 and 36 tooth chain rings with external bearings. Now, in all the time that I've had this bike, I've been on the big ring once each on the stock and the STX cranksets. So why not bow to the inevitable and install a 2x? On the rear, I'm going with an Alivio rear derailleur. Now, you may wonder, what about a 2-speed shifter? No problem, young Padawan. I could get a new 2-speed front shifter, but really, why spend extra money when I can just set the front derailleur limit screw to accommodate only 2 gears? My final planned change involves the good folks at Krylon Corporation. There will be more on that down the road. So, there's my new plan for the Schwinn AL Comp. I really hope this plan turns out better than the last one. If you want to see more of the AL Comp, there's a playlist linked below left. And there's also a link to another video that I think you will enjoy below right. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate that. Goodbye, and have a great day.